Motorhead, what a band. I've been into Motorhead ever since the late 70s, since I first heard their tracks on that vinyl and on the radio. I was hooked. And of course, as a 7, 8 year old, you never get a chance to see them, so I had to wait till I was into my late teens before I finally get to see them. And that was on the rock and roll tour, I believe, which is late 80s, 90s time, somewhere around that. It's a bit hazy. If you purist Motorhead fans, I'm sure you could pin it down to the rock and roll tour. So, like most bands tour in the UK, they do all the major cities, don't they? So, you got Edinburgh, Glasgow, they're coming down to Newcastle, you know, Sheffield, Birmingham, they'll be down the country. It's all written over the back of the t-shirts. Like many other bands at the time, and they were known for it, Motorhead, I believe, used to do impromptu gigs. I don't believe were actually listed on the main tour dates, and definitely, I don't think they were even on the back of the t-shirts and stuff. Stand corrected. This is decades ago. But I'm fairly sure that apart from the official locations they'd be gigging at the major concert halls, they'd also be doing impromptu close to the fans' gigs in smaller locations, maybe even billing themselves as a different name. Whatever. Me and my mates went to see Motorhead at City Hall, Newcastle. Proper stage set. If you've been, it's a proper concert hall. Deafeningly loud, and we're left with hearing damage for the rest of the week, pretty much. You might as well say it's fucking tinnitus for the week. And that buzzing never went away. I think I've still got it now in this ear. And the week after, or a number of days after they played Newcastle, they appear at Spennymoor Leisure Centre in south of Durham City. It's a fucking shithole of a village. Little town, fuck all there. Handful of pubs and its leisure centre. And a decent rock bar, and that's about it. And they pick there, of all places, to having it, close to the fans' impromptu gig or whatever it was. And that was a fucking phenomenal day. And go back to the main gig at City Hall, and we finally get to see Motorhead. And we made sure we get down to the front, even though you got tiered seats and you're supposed to stay in your seat. Get down the front and everybody's having a fight. You're not supposed to be here, shut up. We get down the front and there's just thousands of kids. City Hall, they're all packed in there. The place is heaving. The buzz off the crowd is louder than the band, you'd think. And they come on. They're just deafeningly loud. I didn't expect to be hit with such a sonic assault. I just wasn't prepared for it the first time I saw them. They came onto the stage, everyone screaming, yes, we're going berserk, screaming for Lemmy and everything. We've practically gone hoarse with the shouting and the show hasn't even started. And they kick into the first number and the sonic assault, you can feel the air pressure coming out your eyes. And that's the next hour and a half. It's just all your favourite tracks and you're deaf. And it was a fantastic show. They play all their standards, and you've heard them a million times and you still love them. And in the middle of the gig somewhere, Lemmy does a showpiece little thing with his sound engineers and gets the crowd involved, because most of the gig we're shouting turn it up, and it's already in the damage to your hearing decibel level. We're talking 115 odd fucking decibels every song. You're in jet engine territory now for the sound pressure. And we're all stupidly shouting, turn it up, louder, we can't hear a fucking thing, turn it up. Right? So he does this thing with the audience, and we're all screaming, turn it up. So I'm Lemmy for a moment, and everybody's screaming at him. And he looks over here, and if you're the audience, that's your right. And off to the right of the stage, you can just see an engineer up against a bank of fucking equipment, and there's this like meter in the middle of it. It looks like a big sort of thing like this, big sweepy meter, and it's got a big red section off to one end, right? It looks a bit over fucking the top for a sound meter, this red section. And you can just see this fucking thing, and the arrow's just going towards the red. And the showpiece for the audience, Scream turned up, and Lemmy's catching the eye of this engineer, and he's going, you know, with the finger, demanding, get up, up, get up, sort of actions. And the engineer's, okay, and the engineer looks at this fucking panel with concern, and he looks back to Lemmy's concerned look, as if we're pushing the limit already, kind of look, you know. And Lemmy's frowning at him. Up, 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 up. And the guy's like, well, okay. You know, I'm not going to argue with the boss. And everybody sees him grab this big fucking knobbly big handle and go, you know, and the little arrow moves into the red area. And Lemmy's smiling. Everyone's like, yes, he turned it up, and they kick it the next song. Well, you can't tell whether that was actually louder or not. You couldn't tell. Even if they squeaked it up a decibel, you'd not be able to tell the fucking difference. It was great show, right? We came away with sore necks, aching bodies everywhere from clanging around in that night. There's another one. Some stupid kid attempted a stage dive on Motorhead. Right? Lemmy hates that shit. He fucking hates stage divers. Anybody invading this, he fucking hates it. It's a well-known fact, right? Before we leave the City Hall, I remember this for definite. Some kid tries a stage dive in the City Hall with tiered seats and a central fucking aisle to get to them. Packed with kids. You can't even see where the fucking seats are now. So he gets up on the stage right as you're looking at it, where that engineer was with the dial. At a different point during the gig, he managed to get up there, because there's fuck all security. It's those kind of days where you could do this shit without being stopped. There's no barrier between us and the band. We're at the stage. You could touch the feet and everything. You know. This kid gets on the stage and he fucking runs across and everyone's, who the fuck's this? Right, he gets to the centre of the stage, practically near to Lemmy, and he turns around to the crowd and goes like this, right? Pre-jump, and he's just, you know what they're like when they get on stage, he goes stupid. Lemmy comes up behind him, goes, right, pushes him in off the fucking stage. This kid's like, off the stage like that, and he just went into the first tiers of chairs. And I saw this kid's head off the back of the chair, right? As he fucking hit it, or, you know, the back curve of the chair, you went goof down the fucking chair as he folded over them in this spillage of a body getting booted off the stage because he shouldn't have been there. Then he kicked him off the fucking, woof, there you go, there's a little helper for you. It wasn't a strong push, it was just enough to send him, you know, the centre of gravity. I'm off. They got to the end of the song, and he's on the mic, and he's basically swearing at the crowd, you can pack that fucking shit in, get off the fucking stage, we'll throw you out. You'd be like, that fucker. He wasn't happy. This kid's crawling up the central aisle like fucking, broken fucking everything. He's going home. Fucked. Right, so this mystery gig at Spennymoor Rec, Spenny Leisure Centre. We catch wind, so I don't know how we get hold of the information, but they say they're going to be there. They're at Spenny Rec. What? So we pile over. Everybody who gets in the northeast who catches wind of this Spennymoor thing is over there, and the place is packed with people. Spennymoor Leisure Centre is just a sea of people, pretty much. And it's an impromptu gig. Now, the stage they got to play on was probably no higher off the floor than your kitchen worktops, right, which stand about a metre and a bit off the floor. So literally when me and my friends are stood there, the stage is like here, waist height. And the band are coming on, and you're as tall as them, their knees are about your head height, sort of thing. You know what I mean? They're right there. During the gig when they were playing, and I'm right at the front with my friends, I managed to get a touch onto Lemmy's boot. Right, when he's had a foot up on a monitor while he's in the middle of a song, hey, everybody's going berserk, and I reached up and I touched my idol's boot. Just tapped it. And I looked up at him at the time, and I'm smiling because I'm touching my hero, right? And I was very honoured that he looked down at me and scowled like fuck with that look like, get your filthy fucking paws off me boot, you little shit. I was honoured. Be frowned at by my hero, get your fucking hands off me, you little twat. I'm doing my job. But yeah, fantastic day. I mean, we were pissing around in that room before whilst they were setting up the bands out the back somewhere. There's friends of mine, I never got a chance, I wish I'd had. There was a few of my friends who got round the back of the wreck where the band were, and I heard stories of 2 or 3 of my mates digging into a few cans of LCL with Lemmy and having a chat with him and about everyday stuff and a laugh. Not pestering him out, worshipping him like a knight, just talking to him normally. He's a fucking great bloke, down to earth, great to talk to, and they were pissing themselves laughing with him. I'm like, damn, I missed that one. Yeah, you fucking did. One of my bits of pissing around whilst we were waiting for the band to start and the roadies are still setting up the stage and everything. Because my father had been in amateur dramatics and stage work, and we've got that sort of thing in our family. Like most bands, they'd set up pyrotechnics across the front of the stage and put the little silvery flash powder in. I'll mention my dad because he's doing amateur dramatics, and some of the shows required using flash powder for lightning effects and other things. You might want to make a television set blow up on the stage as part of the act or play. So we build things like that to happen. So my dad had ordered in some flash powder, and unbeknown to him, I'd fucking stole it. After he'd finished, what he'd used for one production, he still had tons of this stuff left. He's probably not going to use it for years, so I stole it and started messing around with it and experimenting with it. And I discovered that theatrical flash powder goes off instantaneously with a naked flame. But it also, if you put a little pile of it on a surface and get a cigarette butt that's burning down, you've got you've smoked your cigarette and you might just have a bit of white left on. This is burning away and there's still tobacco in here. This is empty-ish. And it smoulders down, doesn't it? So you can literally get a lit cigarette into flash powder and stand it into the powder and it won't go off instantly. It takes time for it to heat up and then it will go off. And I knew this very well. It's a timed explosion. So I've seen them filled up the flash pots and everyone's allowed to smoke inside the buildings at this time. It's that far back before the smoking ban. And I'm asking people, I'm smoking a lot of cigarettes and I'm near the front and I'm trying to throw the cigarette butts into a pot that's like the size of a cup. And there's a little bit of powder in the bottom with the wire coming out to set it off. And I'm telling people, it gives you tab ends when you're finished. And it gives you a nipper. And I'm trying to, and they're all watching me. What the fuck are you doing? There's cigarettes smouldering away around this little pot. What, 2 or 3? There's not too many. It's not like we're throwing a full pack of 20 at it. A couple of shots. Long story, I managed to fucking get one in. It's just out of, I can't lean forward to get it and drop it in. It looks too fucking obvious. I'm just trying to ping it in like that. We get one in. People have been watching it. Fucking went in. A few lads went like that. I said, no. It takes at least fucking 5 to 10 minutes before it goes off. Seriously, 5 minutes and within 5 minutes it'll go off. And there's a little bit of whiffy smoke coming out of the pot. It's fuck off, And it ends. I'm looking at the pot. Come on. It's got to. Let's hope that fucking hot tip's got to the powder. I'm like this. And it turns out, the minutes pass and it's not going to go off. And people are saying to me, "Oh, Fraser, man, you're full of shite. It's never gone." Boom! Off it fucking went. Just fucking annihilated the room with a large boom out of nowhere that nobody expected. Except me, of course. And everyone's like, "Fucking hell!" And I'm the only one stood there going, "Ha, it worked," right? Next thing you know, this fucking roadie comes out. He'd been watching the whole fucking thing. He's got a fresh looking top up and everything, and to set the pot up again. He fucking comes walking over, and he's doing it. We're watching, and he just looks at us like and says something on the lines that says, "I know which three of you has been doing this. You carry on again, you're fucking out." We're like fucking saluting. Okay, we're pissing about. We'll stop pissing about. We're just a bunch of stupid. I'm just a stupid kid, okay? The rest of them's normal. I'm the fucking autistic one who gets into mischief, right? But yeah, just that time in life, that being there on that day, if you could have been with us, phenomenal. It's one of those lifetime experiences, small gig for the band, more upfront personal gig with the band and the fans, because like a lot of rock bands and at the time they'd be doing, we go back to the start, they're doing Edinburgh, Newcastle, Sheffield, they're going down the major cities and the big concert halls, and you're kind of separated from the fans because you're high up on the stage and there's miles of fans in front of you. And I think a lot of these bands missed the days where they were a smaller band and it was personal and you're closer to the fans in a smaller venue and it's more up close and personal. And I think a lot of bands miss that. And that's why they do these impromptu gigs, change the name and show up somewhere and they surprise the life out of everyone. Some famous band labels themselves up with an obscure name and shows up at your local pub and you're like, "Oh my God, it's Motorhead," or whoever. Yeah, these are the best gigs you're ever going to see. The impromptu ones, the ones that they've wanted to come up close and personal with their fan base and not be separated on the regular nights of big gig after big concert, and just shuffling from one to the other becomes sterile. And so that's probably why they do it, because they want to have a close experience with their fans and be able to get to talk to us and share, prove that they're no different to us. Yes, they're rock stars, big people, but at the end of the day, they're just normal, regular guys, really, who are fucking down to earth and funny as fuck. Motorhead were, certainly. Right, that's it. How many minutes have we gone? God, Dad. Need 20 minutes of waffling about Motorhead. Great days back there, though. Never forget those. Thanks for watching.